Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 22nd June of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we will look at two stories, and lastly we're going to take a look at a few game recommendations from the ongoing Steam sale. But first we're going to take a look at the news. The first piece of news will be about Bethesda suing Warner Brothers over Fallout Shelter? And secondly, we're going to take a look at Sony being slightly left out by Microsoft and Nintendo as those two companies team up to make a crossplay ad. Well, let's begin with the bigger news of today. Let's talk about Bethesda suing Warner Brothers. So this happened because Warner Brothers recently released their mobile game around the Westworld series. And Bethesda is now alleging that the mobile game based on HBO's TV series is a blatant ripoff of Fallout Shelter. Wow, that's some big ass claims. They claim this because that they actually stole their code for the game, and they say that because some of the copyrighted computer code created for Fallout Shelter in Westwood, because there was a bug in the early versions of Fallout Shelter which also appears in Westwood. So Bethesda alleges that the companies, which are Warner Brothers and the creators of the game Behavior Interactive, copied Fallout Shelter's features and then made cosmetic modifications for Westworld quote-unquote Western theme. The lawsuit also alleges that Behavior breached its contract with Bethesda and utilized its restricted access to Bethesda intellectual property, including Bethesda's copyrighted code, trade secrets, and other rights, to compress its development timeline, reduce costs, and quickly bring the Westworld mobile game to market and offer players the widely popular gameplay experience found in Fallout Shelter. Then the suit goes on to point out some familiar features, including cartoonish 2D characters in a 3D environment, the underground multi-room facilities the players explore and build in both Fallout Shelter and Westwood. So Bethesda is suing for copyright infringement, breach of contract, and misappropriating trade secrets. Man, these are some bold ass claims, and I'm going to say that it will take a pretty decent amount of time before this lawsuit is settled, if it happens in court. Because if Behavior actually stole the pieces of code to create their game quicker, cheaper, etc., etc., I think they might come clean to Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers might settle with Bethesda for some undisclosed amount of money. Because if they actually go to court and they lose, if it is actually true that, again, the code was stolen, it will be a huge ass PR shitstorm for them. Because if there's something you don't do in the gaming industry, at least between the developers and publishers, it's stealing code. It's just something you don't do because, well, if others discover you're doing it, they will never, ever, ever, ever allow you to handle pieces of their code again. And that's quite a problem, especially for smaller studios who rely on working for the bigger studios to create assets for them. And imagine if you're Behavior right now and you're like, oh fuck, they noticed. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, what are we going to do? Well, you need to come clean and hope that Warner Brothers will solve the problem for you. And Warner Brothers will never ever work again with you. Bethesda will never ever work again with you. And you pretty much ruined your reputation in the whole gaming industry, because you were too lazy to code yourself. On the other hand, we really don't know whether it is true that they actually stole the code. If they didn't, I'm going to be pretty confident that they will try and go against the lawsuit. Because it's pretty easy to discover whether pieces of code were actually used, especially if, as Bethesda seems to be, well, saying that it was pretty big chunks of the code. But yeah, the games do look very similar. If you take a look at, oh, you probably played Fallout Shelter, at least for 10 minutes before you got bored with it. You can take a look at like a trailer from Westward Mobile, and yeah, the games do look very, very similar. And the fact that the same bug appeared in both games, that is almost a dead giveaway. Although you never know, maybe the companies were just both very unlucky and they managed to do the same sort of fail, and thus the same exact bug appeared. But man, is that highly unlikely. So I personally think that Bethesda is probably in the right here, and thus we will hear about a settlement in the future rather than this going fully to the court and a jury getting involved. I really think that they will just try to settle for some unspecified amount of money, because it will be easier for Warner Brothers than going through all legal shenanigans. But who knows in the end? Maybe they'll feel like they are correct and thus they will actually try to go through with the lawsuit. Okay, let's move on to the second piece of news. And this one I find hilariously funny. This is sort of Nintendo's and Microsoft's revenge for Sony not allowing crossplay between the systems. Well, from PlayStation to Xbox or from PlayStation to the Switch. Yeah, their decision to not allow people to play cross-platform seems to be backfiring against Sony quite heavily. So this started as a commercial for Minecraft, where you can actually see one person playing on a Switch and the other playing on an Xbox. And they're happily playing together. And yeah, you cannot use PlayStation to play with anyone outside of PlayStation. Now, man, that's some good old revenge. Just poke the bear and run away before he has even a chance to wake up. And I really like this. This is sort of revenge, at least on the part of Nintendo, for the fact that they are not allowing Fortnite players to use the PlayStation linked accounts on Fortnite if they're playing on a Switch, although that same can be said for Xbox. It's just freaking hilarious if you look at it. I really wish that Epic would partake in this, but good on you, Microsoft, good on you, Nintendo. This is the correct way to enact revenge. Because you weren't directly saying, look, Sony did something wrong. You just sat there and said, you know what? For once, we're doing something right. Let's show the world that we're doing something right. And the failings of the third one are just so much visible if you can see that somebody's doing well. And it's just amazing to see this. Hopefully, Sony will bulge soonish on their policy for crossplay, because I have tons of friends on PlayStation with whom I would love to play games, but I can't because Sony is being just stubborn. It's living in the past, in my opinion. They still think, because they control the vast majority of the console market at the moment, that the same will be true for the future. I don't think so. If you continue to push out bad business practices, you will fail. The same way Microsoft did with the Xbox One X when they introduced, oh, we will have always online play and the Kinect will be bundled. People didn't like that and they voted with their wallets. And the same will happen to you, Sony, if you don't change your approach to consumers. You need to think about it. Otherwise, you will be the next Xbox. Okay, and last of all, as most of you will probably know, the Steam Summer Sale is currently going on. and thus I decided to recommend a few games that I think you guys might like. Let's start with something for more hardcore gamers. Let's start with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a game by Warhorse Studios, a studio that is Czech, so it is very close to my heart, and the full game takes place in Bohemia, which, if you don't know, is an old word for Czech Republic or Czech Kingdoms. It's a very hardcore RPG, and there are hundreds and hundreds of hours inside the game for you to explore, fight, improve your character. Remember, this game is trying to be as realistic as possible so you won't find any magic. The combat is very hard, very hard. Just that's what I would say. Because it strives for realism, don't expect any sort of left-leaning appraisal. You won't find any people from quote-unquote minorities because, well, that's just not how Bohemia was in the 14th century, where the game takes place. Or 15th? I'm bad with history. So the game is currently available for just $34.99 with a 30% discount. If you like really hardcore RPGs, go for it. It's a great game. The second game for today is something in between, something that you can play very hardcore, but you can also enjoy as a casual player, and that is Slay the Spire. This is actually a card game with sort of a roguelite approach, because you have a deck that you build throughout each run and try to do as best as you can, ideally get to the end and defeat the final boss, which then kills you and you start all over again. Some people are insanely good at this game. I've seen runs that took literally like 6 minutes, and an average run for an average player will take like a few hours. So you can do some speed running in this game if you want to go hardcore, but if you just want to have a bit fun, Slay the Spire is also an ideal choice for you. Slay the Spire is currently available for $10.07, which is a dumbass price, I know. It's a 37% discount. That's also a dumbass discount, I know, but it's worth it. The game is really worth it. And the last game I would love to recommend to you is Bridge Constructor Portal. Something for the more casual gamers. And this is a really fun twist on the Bridge Constructor game series, which, well, many of you have probably played, with the trick that here you also get to use portals from the Portal universe. And it's really fun, really tests your brain if you don't think you will not pass the levels. Many of my friends have actually really enjoyed it. It's highly recommendable. Sometimes the games like to do crazy shit like what you can just see. Bridge Constructor Portal is currently available for $7.99 or euros if you're in Europe. It has only a 20% discount, but you need to remember this game is fairly new. And you can also get it on your mobile phone, which I highly recommend because it is a game that is perfect for if you're driving on the bus to work or to school, even though that will not happen for another 2 months. But yeah, if you were looking for something casual, Bridge Constructor Portal is a good choice. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to the channel if you're watching on Steemit. Maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow for more gaming news, as we are a source of daily gaming news every single day. Sorry about that. See you guys later with more gaming content.